Welcome to Rock Club's review of the cult Love. My name is Kevin Z, and I'm a lifelong musician and a music fan. I'd like to think I've gained some musical wisdom over my 50 years of listening, performing, and studying music from among my many favorite artists. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe to my channel as I intend to review another monumental album each week. I grew up with classic rock like Zeppelin, Boston, Kiss, and I watched new wave bands like Duran Duran hit it big on MTV and shows like Friday Night Videos, the evolution of 80s alternative rock and metal, and the rise of grunge. I'll give you my perspectives on epic rock albums spanning across these years. I hope I can pass some of this knowledge along to my daughters Sky and Ava, whose playlists include tunes from my album collection and first generation iPad, the one with that old circle dial on the front of it. Another inspiration has been some co-workers of mine, Maya and Patty, who commented that today's music has changed so much and how Gen Z can benefit from my knowledge of these great artists and bands. I'm reviewing artists' albums in their format order as they were originally intended to be listened to. So keep in mind, these are my opinions and feel free to agree or disagree. So let's begin. The cult came on the scene in the early 80s from across the pond in England, and they would later move to LA after achieving huge success in the States. Early on, they realized they needed to simplify their name and changed from Southern Death Cult to Death Cult, and then finally the Cult. Their first album, Dreamtime, featured shimmering guitars by Billy Duffy and soul-searching vocals from Ian Astbury. Love, their second album, was superbly refined and recorded, and it would catapult them to stardom on both sides of the Atlantic. Released on 18th of October 1985 by Beggar's Banquet, the Cult Love features 10 epic tunes, all written and credited to Billy Duffy and Ian Astbury. Bass player Jamie Stewart would round out the trio of the band. Here on the inside sleeve, you see all three. Here's Ian, here's Jimmy Stewart, and here's Billy Duffy. Fantastic inner cover with psychedelia and lots of symbolism. They have this Egyptian motif here too on the front. Just fantastic artwork. So the drum situation was kind of like a Spinal Tap situation in that they had a number of different drummers and have had throughout their career. Nigel Preston was their original drummer. He played on their hit single off this album, She Sells Sanctuary. Then there was a drug bust. He couldn't make the recording of the album commitments, so they pulled in Mark Brzezicki from Big Country to do the recording duties. Later on, they'd have other drummers, most notably Matt Sorum from Guns N' Roses fame. Matt Sorum, he'd later, he joined the Cult for Sonic Temple. I know he played with them throughout that tour, and then he left them for the drum throne duties with Axl and Slash and GNR. But I digress. Love is a must-have album for any Cult fan and fan of 80s alternative rock in general. I first saw the Cult on MTV playing a live show at the New York Ritz. It was broadcast on MTV sometime in December of '85, and it blew my mind. They were dressed like vampires. Billy had this Gretsch Falcon hollow body, and he was just raging. It was just fantastic. He just sounded so original from what I had heard up to that point. And Ian had this Black Witch's hat on and just this voice that just was, I was immediately hooked. Some of us dyed our hair black. I had black hair. I think I dyed a blonde streak in my hair to look like Billy Duffy. But we were hooked with the band right off the bat. But anyway, track one off of the album is Nirvana. The album clicks in with this Syrian guitar barn burner, and the sound is huge with tons of delay and reverb, which is their sound for this album. Song format is more complex with a bridge and excellent outro solo where Billy and company actually start to get a little funky. Track 2 is Big Neon Glitter. It opens with Billy's guitar riff and a full-on use of his digital delay pedal. And a great marching drum part by Mark, the drummer, Mark Brzezicki, and howling vocals from Ian, the frontman. Track 3 is the title track, Love. This does not disappoint. Here Ian is preaching love, not war, and putting on a full psychedelic peace and love vibe. Billy has an excellent soulful guitar solo and outro on this tune as well. Track 4 on side 1 is Brother Wolf, Sister Moon. This is the first ballad on the album and is thick and dense with full pounding tom-toms and glistening 12-string guitar strumming throughout. Here Ian taps into his love for American Indian culture and lore. His lyrics are symbolic and spiritual. The music starts sparse and builds to a crescendo, then fades away again, like the tide under a full moon. Haunting. Last song on side 1 is Rain. It is one of 3 singles off the album. Rain is a fan favorite and a tune played at almost every cult show. A very memorable guitar riff in this tune. Ian compares the rain to a woman he's in a love affair with, and it really works. You know, Ian in concert plays this tambourine along with singing the song, and it makes the tune that much more memorable. Side 2, track 1, a guitar barn burner entitled Phoenix. It is a scathing tune, basically an all-out guitar assault, and Billy makes Hendrix blush with his fierce wah-wah pedal work and exotic arpeggios, and they round it out with these go-go background go-go girl singers, and you've got an epic tune here. So track 2 on side 2, Hollow Man. In my opinion, the weakest link of a very strong chain. This tune features a jangly guitar riff and Ian's kind of wild Western lyrics. Next track is Revolution, another single from the album. This mid-tempo number has a dreamy, psychedelic feel to it and powerful imagery in the lyrics, and Ian's crying out for a revolution of the heart. Then we have track 9, She Sells Sanctuary. Say that 3 times really fast. The question is this: how many effects pedals does Billy use in this guitar intro? We don't know for sure, but it sounds fantastic. And when the band kicks in, this song goes straight through you. For the longest time, I thought Ian sang, "When the Texas sun makes my back burn." And it wasn't until I bought the album and pulled out the lyrics sleeve here and I found out that he says, "Oh, it's the heads that turn make my back burn." So I was singing it wrong for a while. I'm sorry, Ian. Anywho, this is their biggest hit off the album and a dance floor crossover hit for the band as well. So last track on the album is Black Angel. The album rounds it out with this haunting ballad, glistening acoustic guitar and soulful lyrics from Ian as he paints this picture of a Western fugitive with an angel by his side. All in all, an exceptional album, and in my opinion, the Cult's best in only their sophomore effort. They would go on to have a harder edge, stripped down. Electric is an album that's more stripped down, more just right, AC/DC like, straightforward. And then Sonic Temple, they built walls of sound with that album, but those were their big 3 in the mid to late 80s, those big 3 albums. But I love them as the psychedelic goth rockers here on Love. So thanks for tuning in, and look for more Rokk Club record reviews in the near future. Peace.